day one, super fun 30-minute workout. We made some adjustments from the disaster of a filming episode it was yesterday, so if you guys took a look at that trial video, hopefully you see some things different. One thing is we're going to have the workout written down either on a whiteboard or we'll try to get it on the screen maybe in future episodes. But we are doing a workout called Isometrics, okay? Isolation Isometrics because we're all stuck at home. I'm funny. Jade's going to join me today. We're going to work really hard to keep our 6 feet of distance apart from each other. We are working through the top set 3 times, bottom set 3 times. Similar to the last video, I'll try to give you a little bit of information on the first round and then we'll try to speed it up as we go. So some things that you're going to want to consider having is a stopwatch if you want to time yourself versus staying on our tempo. You're also interested in having maybe a weight, maybe some water bottles filled up for resistance. Resistance bands are also great, and maybe something for your elbows since we will be doing planks. So hit pause, grab whatever you want, and then come back and join us. All right, Ms. Jane. Okay, so for this video also, we're gonna have Jane's gonna show things from the side. I'll show the exercise from the front so you can take a look at both of us for cues on how to have your form as we go through. So first up, we're gonna do a split squat rotation. So we're gonna spend 10 reps on each leg. So the bottom part of our body is gonna be stationary. Get deep down. So if you take a look at Jane, she's gonna go super low. If you take a look at me, I'm gonna be a little higher up. It's a little better for my knees, a little better for the baby. All right, we're gonna go arms straight out in front. We're gonna rotate over the front knee 10 times. Be conscious of not allowing your legs to wobble around. If you wobble, you wanna squeeze those glutes. Hold yourself nice and steady. Share that weight evenly between your front and back leg. Keep your core tight. I think that was 10. We'll let Jane count today. Same thing here, 10 to the other side. Feel that twist happen through your belly button. Focus on turning at your shoulders, not just reaching your arms. And we think that was 10 also. Okay, so you should feel a pretty good load into the lower body, maybe a little bit of your core waking up. You're gonna grab your bench or chair, probably another piece of equipment we should have mentioned at the beginning. If you don't have one yet, hit pause, go grab one. You can also use a stair step, whatever feels great for you. We're gonna do pause tricep dips. You're gonna come to a stop at the bottom. Jane's gonna show you the advanced version with her legs straight. I will show you the modified version with my knees bent. So pause length is just about like a dead stop. Just make sure that you've completely stopped descending into the bottom before you come back up. We've got 20 of them. If you want to make this exercise even harder, you can hold a weight between your knees or rest them on top of your thighs. You can pause for a longer period of time. Yes. 12, says Jane. If you're getting any shoulder discomfort, make sure you're focusing on keeping your chest upright and the elbows bending as opposed to all the work happening at your shoulders. Okay, next up is a basic wall sit. So we're gonna try to get close to 90 degrees at the wall, try and keep our weight even between our feet and our whole back flat against the wall. So some pieces that will be important here is that we don't wanna rest. To avoid doing this, you don't wanna feel your heels peeling off the ground. You wanna keep your feet nice and flat. Keep your core tight and hold your body entirely against the wall. Don't let your legs relax in. Keep them firm, keep your glutes tight. Everything in the lower body should be working. Nice if you have a buddy who can talk to you and keep you entertained.
You gotta definitely think about something else.
Yeah.
Anything else.
So if you're already feeling we're about 40 seconds in, pretty close to it, if you're already feeling like I can't make it, just gonna scoot yourself up on the wall about another inch. If it bothers your knees, scoot yourself up on that wall a little bit also. Otherwise, stay nice and deep like Jane is. 10 seconds. also don't know how to put music in our videos yet. And break. So hopefully, in the coming days, we'll figure out some good music so it's not quite as boring. All right, next exercise is a hollow hold. So I'll show it, we're both gonna show from the side here because it's a little bit more forgiving than a front view. Hollow hold is for your core. So we're gonna lay flat on our back. Jane's gonna show you a little bit more of a advanced version. I'll show you the modified version. Flat on your back. We're gonna have you lift your shoulders up off the ground, straighten your legs. Now, how low you go with your legs determines on how much work your core is gonna feel. Things that should limit your range of motion or your height of your legs are gonna be how your back feels, how long you can hold into it. Your quads might start to burn. If your neck starts to hurt, just lightly place your hands behind your head for a little bit of support. And we're just staying here, hanging out, having a good time.
Give a laugh.
Yeah, laughing, yep. If your quads start to hurt or your back starts to hurt, you can always bend your knees in, take a little bit of a break. If you need to, you can raise your legs up higher, but keep that good crunch. Keep yourself up off the ground a little bit from your shoulders, feeling all that work right through your abdominals. 10 seconds here. 3, 2, and break. Good job. That's round 1. So we're going to go through it all again. Now with these rotations, you can choose to add a little bit of resistance if you want. So Jane's going to hold some weights in her hand. I'll show you what you could do with a resistance band if you would like to. You're just going to step on it. So mine's a full circle. So I will just step through it, hold on with 2 hands, try not to hit Jane, and then we're gonna rotate over that front knee. Remember, keep those knees stable. We don't want anything moving around. And switching sides.
That was only 9, Shelly.
Okay. Jane's gonna tell us when to switch.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh no, I'm clearly bad at it. Those of you that watched the video yesterday, you probably noticed some miscounting in there. So adding in resistance, a little bit more core work, a little bit more balance, but you should feel your shoulders turning on.
Well,
It's also okay to lose your balance. That's part of working out.
okay.
All right, so set that stuff to the side. We're going to our quads tricep dip. So if you want to add that weight, feel free to grab on, or it was too easy, extend those legs out. Over halfway.
More. We got 2 more, sorry. What?
Yeah. Okay, we're going for our wall sit. So cruise back to your wall, 60 seconds here. If you chose to stay a little bit higher last round, try to sink yourself a little bit deeper. If it got really hard near the end, don't stare at the clock. It'll go by faster the less you stare at it.
When you get like a ball.
Yeah.
Toss the ball.
Yeah. Get something, grab your phone. If you're not using your phone currently to watch our glorious faces. I like to respond to text messages and emails while doing my wall sits. Something to distract yourself.
It's something you can do while you're working at home.
Yeah. Grab your laptop.
There you go.
Send a few videos up.
Perfect little
Call your kids.
tabletop.
Yeah. Call your kids into the room and tell them what they should be making you for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Oh.
Tell them which bathroom to clean. Delegate. You're sitting on your throne. You're the king and the queen. Go delegate.
Watch the clock.
Yeah, I did. We've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, and break. Down to our hollow hold, flat on your back. And we're going. some of us, it might feel comfortable to sit on our hands and get a little bit of a tilt from our pelvis. If you need that the entire time or sometime during the end, it allows you to lower your legs a little bit. Feel free to use that as an option. If your neck gets really bad, just relax that head down to the ground. Keep that core really tight. Just focus on not allowing an excessive arch to happen in your back. If we're getting into a position where our back is peeling really far away, that means our abs are extended and they're not contracted tight. We want our core to stay nice and tight, keeping our back more neutral position. Doesn't need to be perfectly flat, but as flat as you can get it, given the workload. Five seconds. And break. All right. One more time through. So I'll grab our water bottles. You know, I'm a big fan of using stuff you guys might have at home. So I just filled up 2 water bottles. Well, one we had in the fridge. Another one I filled up. We're sitting down into it, rotating across that body. Pulling Jane over. Today, Jane's identified some weaknesses of the glutes.
I have plenty of my own weaknesses.
We all do. 9, 10. Good. Stepping in and switching legs. Core tight, glutes tight. That's 10. There you go. All right, pause tricep dips. More. 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. Oh, feeling those arms burn. I feel lucky today that I get to do all of the modifications, but I'm working out for 2. And she's younger. All right, down into our wall sit here. This is the last wall sit, so if you really feel like challenging yourself, try and drop yourself deeper here. We're gonna get a water break right after we get through our hollow holds. So push through here if you need one now. Go ahead and hit that pause button and join us again afterwards.
You can make it.
She's so tough.
I'm the tough one.
So we've heard a little bit from you guys about accountability. So some people have formed little groups, different friends that have said who wants to have a group text message saying, I did the video today, or whatever it is. So if you're struggling with accountability over the next couple of weeks, try to find someone that you can just text every day saying, I did my workout. And maybe that's one of us, that's fine too. Feel free to reach out to us. We want to make sure you guys stay moving. 3, 2, and break. All right, last hollow hold.
Oh man. Get ready for the water break.
And then we get water. All right, here we go. Again, feel free to sit on your hands if you would like to. If you need a little bend in those knees, that's also completely fine. Keep those shoulders peeled off the ground, core nice and tight. Some music would be nice.
I could sing for you.
Jane's now taking requests.
Yep.
So send in your emails and text messages.
No one wants that.
Jane will be our singer.
I can really talk right now with this. It's a little shaky.
20 seconds. If you want want to push it for the last couple of seconds. We'll give you a 10-second countdown. You can lower those legs. And 10 seconds. Try and push yourself a little bit here. 3 seconds. 3, 2, and break. All right. Set 1 is done. Halfway through your workout. You've got some water. Grab your water, get a sip. We'll give you a quick rundown of the next 4 exercises. Okay, so we'll pull this back up front really quick just to get a little closer. And if you guys didn't notice on the last video, we're putting the workouts down in the bottom below the video notes section. We also are listing some equipment you could use. So if you want to gather stuff before you start the video, that's the place that's going to have all the information. You can also leave comments down there too, or questions or feedbacks, and we'll try really hard to get back to you as quick as we can. But you also have many of you have our cell phone numbers, so it might be the better way to just shoot us a text. All right, RDL hold with a reverse fly. That is single leg, although we forgot to write that on here. A Superman hold. Luckily, only Jane's going to demonstrate that for us because I can no longer lay on my belly. And then a split squat hold with a press, which is going to look very similar to this exercise. And then a shift plank. So 3 rounds through and you're done for the day, unless you want to go do something else. Another video, or go for a walk, or a run. So starting off, RDL hold with the reverse lunge. So I'll show you using water bottles as resistance. Jane will show you using some weights. We are going to stand single leg. Get your balance first. As soon as you feel confident on that single leg position, I'm going to have you hinge forward, dropping that chest to closer towards the floor. You're going to pinch your shoulder blades, pull those weights or whatever your resistance is open, thinking about pinching from your shoulder blades to produce the raising motion at your arms that's occurring. Don't think about throwing the weights. Keep your core nice and tight so that the only movement is really isolated to the shoulders, and we're not getting any lumbar extension or low back extension or flexion. We're switching legs now, so follow the same thing. Get your balance on that foot before you lean forward, start that exercise. Another important thing to note is that you want a slight bend in the elbows. We don't want to overload the elbow joint by locking our arms straight. Nothing wrong with putting that toe down for balance every so often. You should feel the work in your hip for the lower body. Feeling those glutes fire. All right, good work. You can set those weights down to the side for right now. We're going to go to a Superman hold. So again, this is going to be Jane demonstrating. We're on 10-second intervals. So Jane's going to go ahead and start and pull up. She's engaging her posterior. So we're working shoulders all the way down to glutes through the hamstrings. 3, 2, relax. Five sets of 10-second intervals. She's going to go 3, 2, and up. If you feel like you're overloading your low back, we want to relax a little bit from the trying to lift our chest so high up off the ground. Break. And up. You want to really focus on using your glutes and your hamstrings to raise these legs off the ground. You want to focus on pinching at your shoulder blades to move your arms up off the ground, not doing all of the work just from your chest. And break. Obviously, Jane's in great shape and has a lot of mobility in her back. And up. So this exercise is a little bit, it looks very beautiful when she does it. I hope you all look this perfect. And break. We've got one more here, last one, 3, 2, and up. So again, we should feel that work all the way down our back. And let me restate this again. If you have low back pain and you cannot get rid of it doing any of the modifications, stop doing this exercise immediately. And break. All right, Superman holds. So split squat hold with a press. So again, grab a weight or resistance band. I'm going to grab my water bottles. Jane will grab a resistance band actually to show you here. Depending on how much your weight is or what you've got, mine are pretty light. I'm going to do one in each hand. Jane with the resistance band is going to go in one hand at a time. All right, so yep, we're going to loop that resistance band around the back leg. and we're just pressing straight up towards that ceiling, making sure that we keep our core nice and tight. A big old jug of milk or water or orange juice, add a little bit more resistance to these presses.
Or like a baby or a dog.
A baby or a dog, don't drop the baby.
Don't drop the dog either.
Well, yeah, but the dog might land on all fours. The baby's not gonna land on all fours.
No, probably not.
Down deep into that squat again here, pressing straight up. Core's gotta stay super tight. It's another exercise where we don't wanna see a lot of extension happening in your lumbar and your thoracic area, basically from your chest down to your hips. We see a lot of calm body. Do you know one?
Huh?
Do you know number we're on?
Oh yeah, that's 10.
That's 10. Perfect. All right. Set those to the side. You can also do those with any dumbbell, kettlebell. Again, you can go one arm and then the other like Jane did, or both together. So a shift plank. You need something for those elbows. Go ahead and grab on. We're going to start in an elbow plank. Try to avoid holding your hands. We're going to work a little external rotation at your shoulders and fire a little posterior shoulder cuff here. And we're just going to gently rock forward, pushing your whole body so your chest is more over your elbows, and then pushing back. And we're just going to come to a little pause in each spot here as we work through this for 60 seconds. But I just can let Jane keep going here and show you guys a few things. You want to make sure that we're not sagging, that you keep your core engaged enough that your low back's not moving down, right? So you're not sinking down. The other thing we want to avoid is this movement is actually coming from just shifting your body in one straight line. So we're not raising our hips up and then dropping our hips down in order to move ourselves front and back. If you become tired and you need a break, you can always go down to your knees. You can still push forward from your knees, or you can just hold the plank from your knees for the rest of the duration. We've got 5 seconds here. 3, 2, and break. Good. It's nothing like having a little demo partner here. Okay, so that's all 4. We're gonna go right back up to the top and start with our reverse fly. So this time I'll show you how to use a resistance band. So any type of band, they don't need to be full loop circles. That just happens to be what we have on hand. You can stand on or hold on to anything that's a single band also. So start out wide on your band, always move in as things get easier. Everything else is the same. Let your hands start together in this good hinge position. Pull apart, pausing at the top. Good. Switching sides. Make sure we're pushing that weight into our hips. That's where our balance is coming from. Core is nice and tight. And 10. Good. Hopefully your arms and upper body are starting to catch up a little bit in this nice isometric workout. We're going to a Superman hold, which good for me, bad for Jane.
No, this is good.
So, and we're going up. Just to reiterate a few things here, guys, low back pain is very serious. You have to keep your core tight while we also do these exercises and break. If that's really difficult for you, and up. Then we need to make some adjustments, and there might be some things you shouldn't be doing. You can always contact me or Jane or Mike and break, and we can give you a little bit more information on that and work. But without us being there to work with you, you really have to be your own best judge of everything that's going on. And break, and work. Only one more after this, Jane. And break. One last one. So, to reiterate, just hold a plank, or maybe holding into a V-sit, or leaning back into your arms not lifting your legs up as high. There's a lot of variety and break that you can do, but if this irritates your back, don't do it. Just avoid it. All right, split squat hold with a press. So I'll have Jane show the plates this time, and I'll show the resistance band again. I'll try to show you a variety of standing on it with your front foot, pressing with 2 hands. So coming here, yep, pressing straight up overhead. This is effective if you have a band that has handles on the end, so you can stand on the center at the floor, or it's effective if you have a looped band like we do. Switching those feet. So hopefully the upper body movement is distracting a little bit from the workload on your lower body, but isolation isometrics, this is the lack of movement happening in our lower body, where we're actually focusing on an isometric muscle contraction. There we go. Okay, last up, we have another shift plank. So I will show you guys the shift plank from my knees, a variation that you guys can do. Actually, you know what, this time I'll show you from the bench, and then we'll show you from the knees. So if you have a bench or a chair out that you were using, I'll go ahead and put my elbows right on that bench, just like I would on the floor, and I'm gonna shift front to back here. Go ahead, get ready, hands are apart, we're just shifting forward and coming right back. And maybe the bench isn't somewhere where you start, but it's somewhere where you end as you work through this workout, as fatigue might start to set in. Or maybe it's somewhere you do start, and you progress down closer to that floor. Try to think about pushing up through your shoulders, staying strong, not letting yourself relax into that upper body. Jane, did you see what time we started?
Yeah. We have 20 seconds left.
20 seconds.
10.
Good. All right. So, good news is, one more round. Bad news is, one more round. Okay, so back up to the top. We're starting with an RDL hold with a reverse fly. So if you have all of the options we showed you, choose whatever you like the best. And if you need more options, let us know. Amazon's still delivering, so you can get some bands. Maybe bands are great. They're small, they're cheap. You can usually get a pack for a relatively affordable price. So
Amazon has their Amazon Basics.
yeah,
Which is really
yeah, Amazon Basics. It's a great line. All right, guys, 10 aside.
awesome.
And switch legs. A lot of times with balance, guys, it helps if you pick a focal point. So find one spot on the floor or the wall or whatever is nearest you to stare at. Try not to break the focus looking at that one area. All right, so Superman holds. 10-second intervals here, whenever you're ready. So I'm gonna let Jane go ahead and start whenever after I tell her to stop. A little bit easier than me having to continue to say work and rest. She can go whenever she feels ready. Break. And that goes for you guys at home too. If you ever get behind in the video or whatever we're doing, that's why it's great it's a video. So just hit pause and you can come back to wherever you had left off before. Break. We're sad, we have no Bella today. She's at home. We might company break. She's got a rest of the 30-minute workout. So never underestimate the power and efficiency you can accomplish in 30 minutes. Three, two, and break. Good work. All right, so we're going to our split squat, hold, and press. So again, pick whatever you like best in terms of the resistance that you were using. I'll let Jane pick what she liked best. Band, she wants the band. I'm gonna do the band too, because I liked it also. I'm gonna go with a double hand approach. I think it's comfortable.
Decide what I want to do.
And here we go. You'll notice here, I'm gonna go ahead and turn to the side also. You'll notice the path with Jane with that resistance band slightly attached at her back foot, her press is slightly more forward. That's normal, that's how it should be. With my band at my front foot, you notice that my press goes a little bit more vertical. Slightly different muscles working here, but nothing you should be too worried about. So if you want to alternate each round, it's perfectly acceptable. Very fun shift plank. So I'll try to give you guys a view from what the knees would look like and how to shift in that position. Jane will continue to show you the hardest version. If you need something harder, go ahead and get started. If you need something harder, you can always throw a little weight like this, put it right between those shoulders right here. Doesn't need to be very heavy, it's just gonna be a little bit of added resistance for you to hold those shoulders strong. If for any reason that is uncomfortable, just take it off. But if you can't keep pushed up strong through your shoulders to begin with, don't add that weight on. So from our knees, as I join us here, shifting forward, coming back into your toes, shift forward into your knees, back into your toes, forward into your knees, back into your toes, alternating through here. Notice that I'm trying not to get a lot of movement from my torso, rather focusing my movement from my body. 8 seconds. 3, 2, and break. So, thank you for joining us. That is your workout day number 1, isolation isometrics. Hope you enjoyed it. And again, information down in the bottom about what the workout was or what you need, or comment, tell us what you think, tell us what you'd like to see. We're doing this for you guys to keep everybody moving. So, and thanks to Jane for joining me. It's more fun with another person.
Yeah.
Okay guys, have a great day.